Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm back at my parents' house, as you can see from the bookshelves behind me, and we're here to do a fun spring inspired look. I'm wearing my yellow sweater especially for this occasion, and I thought we could use the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette because it has all these nice shimmery shades and I think that would be very appropriate. So let's get started right away. Clipping my hair back with this nice pink bow clip. So I zoomed you in a little bit and I already primed my eyes using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer as usual. I'm going to start by using the more matte shades in the palette. As you can see, there are 4 matte shades in the corners, matte and satins, and I'm going to use those to make a base for my eyeshadow and then put the shimmers on top. So I'm going to start with the color Hexed, which is this one, and I'm going to put that in the crease. So this palette was released a little while ago already, and it got mixed reviews. Some people really loved it and some people thought it wasn't colorful enough or didn't really like the quality. I personally haven't really made up my mind about this palette yet because some shimmers are great and some are not so great. And I do agree that it would have been more fun to do a couple of matte colorful shades to accompany these glitters. So I guess this is a way for me to see what I really feel about this palette. I do like this color, Hexed. Oh, I think I said Vexed. It's Hexed. So I'm cleaning up my brush. I always use this W7 Shade and Swap to clean my brushes. And with the color Antidote, which is right over there, I'm going to blend out the edges of Hexed. This will lighten it a little bit as well and make it a little bit more spring appropriate. Now I'm taking Third Eye, which is the darkest shade in the palette, and I believe this is a satin shade. And I'm going to put that in the outer corner. And also bringing it through the crease a little bit. So far these shades blend out very nicely. The question is going to be whether these shimmers perform nicely. And I'm not sure which ones I want to use. But I like Vibes, which is this one. In the couple of times I've used this palette, I've always used this shade because I thought that was the prettiest one. But because I'm wearing a yellow sweater and a pink skirt, I think blue would be a little bit too much. So I think we're gonna keep it with the more pinky looks. So with my middle finger I'm picking up Vibes. And I'm going to put that in the inner part of my lid. Now it's not nearly as impactful as I was hoping. I mean, the shimmers are nice, but they feel more like a topper shade. Maybe I should have tried spraying them a little bit. Let me do that. I have this Essence Summer Days and Nights spray. This was from the summer collection of last year. And I'm going to first pick up some of the shade on my brush, and then I'm going to spray it a little bit. I guess that really makes quite the difference. Now it's not as glittery anymore, but the color is more opaque and even. And I think I have enough moisture on the brush to immediately do the other side. Now I want to amp it up just a little bit, so I'm also going into Meditate, which is this shade over here, and with my finger I'm going to put this on top. I don't know if I actually see a difference with this. I mean, it's pretty. Yes, it is pretty. It's okay. We'll finish up the rest of the eyes later. And I have to say, I did my eyes first because I expected there to be a lot of fallout, and there isn't. So that's nice. Little bit of glitter on my cheek, but, well, I guess I say glitter, but I mean shimmer. It's not actual glitter particles or anything. So now let's go into the face makeup. I haven't used my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in a little while, so I thought I'd use this one. I have it in the shade Snow, which is fair with slightly cool undertones, if I'm not mistaken. And I guess I just wanted to give this another try. So I'm first going to prime using my Lancôme La Base Pro, because this really helps out with a little bit too thick foundations to make sure they blend nicely. So I'm taking 2 pumps and I'm taking this stippling brush . My first thought is that this looks actually very nice. It's a little bit thinner than I remembered. I guess when I started using this, I wasn't really used to thicker foundations yet, or more full coverage foundations. And I thought this was a little bit too heavy, or I didn't really know how to work with it. But now that I'm used to things like the Guerlain Haute Perfection foundation or the Huda foundation, I feel like this is actually more natural. Looks nice, right? Actually looks really nice. Alright, now for concealer I want to use my Pat McGrath concealer. This has been my go-to ever since I tried it a couple of weeks ago. Whenever I'm not sure and I'm doing a bit more of a full foundation, I always just grab this one. And you don't need a lot. This is probably too much already. But it seems that I never learn. So I have this flat foundation brush that I like to use to blend out concealer. Because you can use these swiping motions. That was a technique I learned from Wayne Goss. This is his favorite way of applying concealer, and he uses concealer as foundation. And using these swiping motions, he really blends out the concealer very well. It seems counterintuitive to just swipe it around, but it really works. See, this concealer looks good with anything. Now for powder, I thought we would keep it light and ethereal. So I'm taking my Givenchy powder in Voile Rosé, which is a little bit of a pink colored powder. And I like to make sure everything is well mixed. Tap off a lot of the excess and start by applying it on the pores, blending it out to underneath the eyes. And this powder really blurs everything. And it's a nice powder because it doesn't emphasize any pores. So it's beautiful to use on the face. And it's also light enough to use underneath the eyes. I have it in 2 shades, but I actually like this pink shade a little bit more than the very fair shade, which is a little bit more grey, bluish, which is perfect if you want that really brightened effect. But this is a powder I can use all over my face really well. And with whatever's remaining, I'm taking a bigger brush, just to make sure that the outsides of my face are also nice and powdered. I think loose powders do always get a little bit messy, but the effect is very nice. Okay, let's get right back into the eyes. I'm taking this small pencil brush and I'm going into the color Antidote, the peachy matte shade, and I'm going to put that underneath the lower lash line. With the same brush, I'm going into the shade Raw Energy, which is a purple shimmer that I haven't used yet. I'm really trying to pack it on, and I'm putting this in the inner corner. It actually looks a little bit more blue. This is actually a beautiful shade. I wish I put that all over my lid. I think that's going to be it for the eyeshadow. So far I'm still not decided on this palette. It just doesn't blow me away. I like the looks that I get out of it, but I don't really love them. I'm just going to add some mascara and do my eyebrows and I'll be right back. I'm back. I used my Maybelline New York The Falsies Push Up Drama mascara. I'm trying to finish this up. And then I also used my Dior Pump and Brow in Blonde, because I feel like this is often enough to give me nice bushy brows. Alright, now we just have to finish up the face. For bronzer, I'm going into my Sun Lover bronzer by Catrice. This is a nice, not too extreme bronzer. It's actually one of my favorites and maybe the cheapest one I own. I've been trying some new drugstore makeup lately and they've really impressed me very much. I feel like for my skin tone I get a nice bronze that's not too heavy, but is still visible, because I also like to use the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Light, but that's actually so light that you often don't even really see it. And I do like that formula better. But I mean, it's nice when it's actually working. I feel like this is a nice bronzer that really can't go wrong. To finish up the cheeks, I have some Dior items. This is the quintessential spring blush for me. It's from the Dior Backstage collection and it's in the shade Rosy Glow. And I feel like this gives, well, let me show you. This looks extremely bright in the pan, but it becomes more, I think it mixes or reacts to the pH levels in your skin like some lip balms do. So I mean, on the skin it's still bright, but on me it's a little bit more peachy because I'm a little bit more neutral or even warm toned. So I think on someone with a very cool tone, skin tone, this would actually show up a lot more pink. Look how nice that is. This is also a very easy product to just throw on. And to complete it, I have my new favorite highlighter, which is from the regular Dior collection, which is the highlighter Luminizer in the shade O2 Pink. This is what it looks like. And although it looks very beaming in the pan, when you put it on your face, it's never too much. It's a little bit like with the bronzer. I mean, it's beaming, but it's not too beaming. I know the trend has been to stay away from the very beaming highlighters lately. And I think that's a shame because I really like highlighters. But I think this one is a nice middle ground. I feel like this was a very quick one. Do you as well? I'm not sure how springy this look is. I feel like this eyeshadow is more of a fall look, but still. That's just how it worked out today. Now all we need is lips. I thought we could use this very fun bright fuchsia from YSL. But I'm not sure how it'll match with the eyeshadow that we have. I also have this one, which is just a little bit less obnoxiously bright. I think this would be a better bet. Or I have this, I think this is the one we should take. This is the Essence Stay 8 Hour Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is not the most comfortable or the most pretty, but I do like this shade. So let's do this one. It's just a little bit of a rosy nude. It's not the easiest applicator, I must say. Yes, I think this is a nice look. So this is the finished look. Wait, let me spray on some of this essence. I hope you enjoyed this spring tutorial. I believe it could be a lot more springtime appropriate, but this palette really just doesn't have the most spring-like qualities. I think if you matched it with different mattes from other palettes, then it would be a lot more springtime appropriate. But like this, it's more of a fall palette really, with some blues. Anyway, I like how the look turned out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!